Hello and welcome to another episode of Success to Significance. If you've been watching the channel, you know that I'm doing this series where I'm just talking about different things to educate you, uplift you, make you laugh, and just give you something to think about. So today, as you saw the picture and you saw the thumbnail, I'm talking about working together. And this is for all the couples that watch the channel. I had told this story to another coworker, and they thought it was the funniest thing. And they suggested that I tell the world about it because they thought it was funny, and it was actually very helpful to them because they're a young couple. My husband and I have been married over 3 decades, about 34 years now. And let me tell you, it has been an up, down, all around whirlwind for me. And so, I have plenty of stories to tell, but this one was kind of funny, and it's about working together. So welcome, sit back, relax. It's not a long story, but I think you could get something out of it. So, as you know, again, from following the channel, I'm retired. We both have been retired for about 7 years now. We retired the same year, although he did more time on his job than I did. So, for the first couple of years, we were chilling, traveling, kind of getting used to being home, getting used to each other, because we oftentimes worked opposite shifts just so we could raise the kids. So we didn't need babysitting and all that stuff on a regular basis, because had we had to pay for a babysitter, it really wouldn't have made sense for me to work, because all my money would have been going to that. So we kind of juggled, and thank God, with the help of family and friends, we were able to work. So after we retired, like I said, we were chilling out. So thank God, and could be a whole nother video. A friend of mine knew my work ethic from when I was working full time. So she had called me one day and asked me, would I be interested in working part-time? And the way the job is situated, they put up all the jobs, and then you decide what days you want to work, which I had prayed to God for something like that, because I didn't want to get into another full-time career, because I did retire really early. I retired in my 40s. So, but I didn't want to start a whole career, but I did want to do something when I can work when I wanted to. And God certainly answered my prayer. And this job was just perfect for me. I looked at the jobs they had, and when I wanted to work, I just would put my name in, and I would just be at the location. So anyway, one day, I was doing such a good job, and I really put everything into every event that I do. And I thank God, because the owner of the company, I guess he noticed, and he asked me to do a 10-day job. It was a huge, huge deal. So I would have to relocate for those 10 days, so I can be there every day, because the location was pretty far from where I live. So they were paying for the hotel and food and everything. And I would just be up there for the event, for the 10-day event. So now he was like, the owner was like, of the company was like, oh, I would love for you to do this. I want you to lead the team and do this for the 10 days. And I was like, okay, now this is the part about working together. I was like, okay, but I have to ask my husband. That's not something that I just could say okay to. So when I told my husband, I was so excited. I was like, listen, babe, they want me to be the lead on this 10-day event, and it's like this big time client, and it's gonna be great. And he just looked at me like, where do you think you're going for 10 days without me? And I was so excited. So I said, well, yeah, that is true. I'm being a hotel, da 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 da. So I had to think of something. I wanted to do it, but I said, well, listen, you have the same credentials that I do. And he had swore he was not going to work again. He was like, after 26 years at my job, I'm not working again. I was like, well, why don't you come and work with me at this job? He was like, let me think about it. So I asked the owner of the company, is it okay if my husband accompany me and do that? Now, mind you, I'm going to be his supervisor for 10 days. So also that's a whole nother video, but he did good. But anyway, he said my husband was so appreciative that I went the extra minute, because I could have said, you know what, I'm not going to do it if you feel like that. But no, I went the extra minute and the extra mile to try to include him. And he did it. He loved it. And now he's like a regular at the company now. And sometimes we work together, sometimes we don't. But it was just the fact of trying to compromise to make sure that we were both happy. We had a great time. It was a wonderful event. Everything went off without a hitch. It was beautiful. And, that's my story about working together, finding ways to work it out. All the time you're not going to agree on everything. If you agree with someone for everything, something is wrong. Because you have your own individual taste, you have your own mind, and that's okay. You're supposed to do that. You complement each other. But the thing is, you learn how to work together. And I have a couple more examples, but I'm not going to take up too much of your time. But I just wanted to tell you that story and encourage you. If you're a couple and that may be one of the things you're dealing with as far as learning how to work together, ask God to help you, to give you innovative and extraordinary ideas that you may be able to come together, compromise, and make your marriage work. It's all for the good. So you have a great day, and thank you for story time with me. And I got some more coming up. Have a good day. Bye.